Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our information session for the BSc Information Technology program. The BSc Information Technology is a program that is awarded by the University of Bedfordshire in the UK, and it's delivered at CTS College of Business and Computer Science in Trinidad. Do you know where we guys are located? Any one of you have an idea where CTS College is located? Because now with online, distance is irrelevant. Anyone?
In Shagwanas.
Shogunas.
All right, correct. We're in Chaguanas as well. If it's okay with you guys, how did you all find out about the information session or about the program actually? If you can share with us so we can learn a bit more how you guys found out about us. You guys would mind sharing?
Well, I was actually looking to see what other new. You know me as Glenn Gillian. I am, but
Yes,
it's just
Gillian,
as
correct. Gotcha.
So I was just looking to see what else you all had, and I saw this and I found that it was interesting. So, as I graduated last year with the MBA UoB.
Yes, understood. Welcome on board, Gillian.
Thank you.
All right. What about the others?
Well, I've been doing some exploration on with different institutions on this particular program, and I find that the syllabus in itself has a very good structure, and I think it's something that will benefit me a lot. So that is why I choose to pursue.
Thank you very much, Andrea. So you have a wealth of certifications as well, right? You have an IT experience, so that's wonderful. So good. But in terms of learning about CTS, you would have found it on the web. You would have been told by a friend through, well, I saw someone said through LinkedIn and another through Facebook. But what about the rest of you guys? How are you all finding out about us?
Well, I mean, for me, especially Ravi, I don't think you clearly or fully recognize or recall me, but I think we had some dealings before at Bordercom International. Um, I was the training and support manager there for our programs.
Understood.
So, and we had the collaboration with Nadia.
Yes, of
Hussain.
course. So I do remember now, Andre. Thank you very much.
Right,
Yes,
right,
yes.
right. So that's how I know you guys exist. And since Bordercom is no more, so I choose to go with you guys who was then our competition. So I think I'm in good company.
Thank you. Sean, I saw your hand was raised. Would you like to share?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I was checking out IT programs because I have up to postgraduate level but a totally different field. But since the pandemic, I've been trying to broaden my horizon with respect to IT. And cost is also a big factor in what I'm looking at. And I've compared some of the programs you've had with other schools like SBCS and so on. And I mean, I like how you advertise through social media. That's one. And secondly, I think your cost generally it seems to be most affordable so far. And also, believe it or not, you're one of the few schools I can call and get on to somebody within a short space of time.
All right, thank you so much. I'm grateful. Student support is really important to us. And while there have been moments where we may have not lived up to expectation, generally we work very hard at it. Our heart's in the right place. Sometimes it's just that the workload may cause some small delays, but overall, student support is something that we really thrive on and try to be our competitive advantage. There are a couple other participants who've raised their hand. If you don't mind, please feel free. So, well, Sean and Andre, we just spoke to both of you. Anyone else with the raised hands there as well? I think it's just those, right? Devon, go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, I know someone who went to the school prior. In years ago, and I dealt with SBCS. But since the pandemic, I called them, and two things: the times for their classes and how their semester runs, it wasn't working for me. And also, when I called CTS for the first time, the information that I got immediately, it's because when you call SBCS, you have to wait for an email after a week and a half, no response. And then when I call CTS, like immediately, I got a response email and everything now. So in terms of that, just the dealing with the school so far, impressed me now. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Later on, we'll have a link as well for you to share with us about how you found out about us as well. Because what happens is that we do spend a lot on social media advertising, and we advertise via the traditional means as well. And one of the things we always try to do is kind of zone in on exactly where most of the people who are finding out about us, which medium they're using, because it's really helpful and instructive for us, because at the end of it, if it doesn't make sense spending where people are not really finding out about you, right? So given that's the case, we usually have these little surveys, and I'll try to get the link for the survey before the end of the session as well, so that you can get that, you'd be able to enter the information as well, okay? And I'll ask Stefan to assist in posting it as well to the session. Well, let's continue with today's session. It's meant to be in terms of the presentation time, it's just going to be a little over an hour or so, all right? At the same time, I want you guys to feel free at any time during the presentation to ask questions, right? Now, I may not always be noticing the raise hands as well, but I'm okay once things are done orderly. If you have a question, you could interject. Now, please note, sometimes the information that you're asking is in a slide a little lower down, and I'll just know that, okay, this is coming up. But if it's not, then I will answer your question right away as well, okay? So feel free to ask the questions as they come to your mind as well. And I'll answer them as honest and as best as I can also, okay? So welcome again, let's get started. In terms of your presenters for today, your speakers would be myself. I'm Ravi Raghunath. I'm the Executive Director at CTS College. This is my email address. This is my cell number as well. If you need to reach me, by all means you can. And also too, we have very much on your side, the guy who will be working with you throughout your journey at CTS College is Stefan Rampasad. Stefan is your program manager at CTS College. Each program, we have a dedicated program manager. And the role of the program manager is really like, it's like a department manager. They manage everything about the program. So Stefan basically is that person. He'll be like your concierge service, if you want to call it that. You need letters, you need documents, you need anything, you liaise with Stefan as well. Of course, you could also liaise with me as well. I'm more than happy to. But typically, we encourage students to go through their program manager because it's also about building a relationship. Okay. Now, what is today's session all about? What questions will be answered? Well, what we're going to look at, you all are considering maybe studying a bachelor's degree. For some of you, like Andre, you may have already done your research and made your decision. And some of you, you're still deciding, right? And I want to share with you some of the things about the program because we believe it's an important decision you're going to make. It's important, therefore, that you have all the relevant information to help you with making a decision. So one we look at is why study a bachelor's degree in information technology, or even just simply why study? Because so many of you, you see studying as a cost rather than seeing studying as an investment, right? And also why study with the University of Bedfordshire and why CTS College? And then after what we look at, some of the features of the program, we look at what will I learn? How will I fit this into my life? Because many of you are very busy and you don't want a program that consumes you, but a program that fits into your lifestyle as well. What kind of support will be available for you if you start the study? Then if I did, where would I graduate? And am I eligible to study? Do I satisfy the entry requirements? How much will this thing cost? And when can I start? So these are some of the questions we will answer as we go through. And of course, if you think that there's a question you have that is not listed in there, then feel free to ask at any point as well. Okay. Now, why study the BSc? For many of you making this decision to study, what are some of the reasons you are choosing to study? Not necessarily a BSc, but to choose to study. For some of you, you are switching careers, right? You're looking at retooling yourself. But what are some of those reasons you guys are contemplating studying? Want to share with me? Anyone? Why are you guys choosing to study? Why not stay where you are?
Well, for me, for one, the current job that I'm in, it's heavily involved in IT, and I think having a more solid base, I mean, I have some base in IT, but I think having that qualification that will propel me to another level, and even to matriculate to the masters and maybe someday to a doctorate. So it helps in my current career, and I want to stay on that pathway. So that's why I want to study that.
Do you think it could help you therefore with promotions, etc., and job opportunities?
Exactly. Yeah.
No problem. Wonderful. Sean?
Yes. I would just like to say that I think that in the time that we're living now, while IT has always been important, it has become increasingly important now that because of the environment that we are in. And as a teacher and educator myself, I've had to become very acquainted with all the teaching platforms and technology in a short space of time. But I feel as though having a more well-rounded IT background, it would help not only with teaching, but probably branch off my career further in different directions as well.
Understood. And I'm grateful to hear that also. Anyone else? Devon, anyone else would like to share? Go ahead, Devon.
Well, for me, I work with the government for probably since 2012 in IT as a technician. But in the wisdom of all governmental things, they change the requirements for the job. So in order to preserve my employment, I decide might as well get, know what they're currently requiring for the job. So it's just, for me, that's just it.
Understood. And I appreciate that. So at the end, job security is very important as well. And it's important that you therefore make yourself accessible to, so that at the end of it, when decisions have to be made, you are well tooled and well equipped for it as well. Okay. All right. And I want to share with you guys as well. And I'm seeing Nadine, I've seen you posted as well. And I appreciate your comment. The reality is that, there are so many qualified people as well out there that, and it's also difficult to get a job. You learned that in the past, you thought maybe, well, if I had my degree, wow, that's very few people have a degree. And therefore, once I have my degree, it'll easy get a job. I remember when I was studying, I was told once you get first class honors, companies are going to just snap you up like that. And I was very fortunate to get my first job because I'd gotten first class honors. I got a job because of the first class honors. But the truth is, I found out afterwards that it wasn't so easy because more and more people were coming out with a bachelor's degree. Now, you'd understand at my age, that wasn't just yesterday, right? Wasn't too far though, but it wasn't really yesterday. And now more and more students are graduating. I'll share even with you a simple story at CTS College and why it's important that you are qualified as well. We had a vacancy once for an administrative assistant. The requirement was simply um, CSEC, to be quite honest, would have been sufficient, but we pegged it at a diploma level simply because we felt that there are a lot of qualified people. On the very first day of the application, on the very first day of releasing the vacancy, we had 85 applicants. And in those 85 applications, 13 students had an MBA, 20-something students had a bachelor's degree. And therefore, it was almost null and void to look at anything less because there were so many qualified persons for the job, right? The reality is that, when you are applying, you don't just look at your qualification, you have to also factor in what other people may have. So you may say, I'm well qualified for the job, right? Why didn't I get called for an interview? But when you look at it, you may not know the other details. And from the other side, honestly, the supply is greater than the demand. And that is why sometimes employers now it's now more pro employers have the wider choice to choose because there are so many options available. So therefore it's really important that to get seen and to get to stand out that you need to be well qualified as well. Okay. The other thing too also is having a good resume always makes sense, a resume that gets you recognized. But that's a whole separate topic also because so many students believe that if I simply have a resume and it's simply white, black text on white paper and I email it out, that's fine. And trust me, it's not. Often as employers, you want a resume that stands out, that pops out, that maybe have a little bit more detail. The way it is designed, it's aesthetically pleasing and all of those things as well. It's an investment in yourself. So therefore, I'll strongly encourage you to consider some of those. Often you're told when you go for an interview, dress your best kind of thing. Even your resume should be that first story of looking your best also, okay? So over the many information sessions, we've been interviewing people asking, why are you studying? What was your focus or reason for studying? And these are some of the typical reasons people have given us as well. Whether you're doing an MBA or any qualification, these are some of the reasons. One, you're studying because you want to get a promotion, and Andre had indicated the same thing, he wants to better align himself for opportunities in the field that he already loves. For some of you, it might be a career change, right? So you already have a postgraduate qualification, but you're looking at other opportunities as well, because maybe you find that the current field that you're in is a bit limited, or you may find that the IT field or another field more attractive. So therefore, you're looking at retooling and equipping yourself for that career change. For some of you, it's linked to promotion, really an increase in salary. For others, it's to start or grow your own business. So you're doing this program to really help you to start and manage and grow your own business. For some of you, it's personal achievement. And Sean had mentioned that in the chat as well, that he's doing this for personal achievement. Some of you are doing it for the practical experience in IT because you want a course that is not just about having a degree, but one that is also practical, that involves a lot of, solving problems, etc. And of course, enhancing your employability as well. So those are often the major reasons persons have given for studying and for studying a bachelor's degree. Some of the other things we're going to look at, and one of the things I want you to note is the following. For some of you who may not have a bachelor's degree as yet, I want to look at and use an example to show you that really the bachelor's degree should be seen as an investment rather than just a cost. Because too many times we focus on the cost and lose sight of the investment that you're doing as well. And to share in this example, I'll use the example of an OJT. Now, the truth is you would not work as an OJT for all your life if you do, but I'm using the OJT salary as an example of what we're going to look at for pegging our, for consideration for this example. Now, let's take a look at Tom. Tom has CSEC passes. He's completed his secondary qualification. He has CSEC passes. And we're also going to look at Mary. Mary has a bachelor's degree. They're both going to work at OJT. Let's look at the difference in salary. Just from observation, this is the monthly salary. Can you give an idea, just a rounded figure? I don't need an exact value, but a rounded figure to thousands. How much more you will earn with a bachelor's degree versus just CSEC passes as an OJT per month? Or how many hundreds? Or mathematics is an important skill for this program, right, guys? Take a look at the difference with CSEC versus a bachelor's degree. You can speak out. Right, over 4,000, right? You can get, right? Okay. It's 4,500 to be quite honest, right? Because a CSEC person is 3,025. You're getting 3,025 with CSEC, and a bachelor's degree you are getting 7,500. That difference.
Yeah, I'm eating now for about the next hour, though.
Right? That's just one second.
All right, good.
Right. So that difference is over $4,500 per month. That's 1 month, right? So based on that, the difference of $4,500 per month, it's right $4,537.50 to be quite honest. Right now, you may just look at for 1 month. If you for a year, how much more would you earn then? How would you work out for a year? If you're getting $4,537 more in 1 month, for a year, you multiply that figure by 12. That's $54,000 more in 1 year you would have earned with with a bachelor's degree versus CXC. Now, that amount you earn in 1 year is more than enough to cover the entire cost of the entire program, right? That alone basically would have paid back for your investment as an OJT. The next thing is you're not going to work for a year. Let's suppose now that you kept these salaries remain fixed for the rest of your working life. What would have been the difference in salary you would have earned therefore as a CXC graduate versus a bachelor's graduate as an OJT? Well, most persons work for about how many years you think working life would be, guys? Let's say you start working around 20, you might work to about 65, right? So that's about 45 working years. If I multiply this here and I'm using 40 years so instead of 45, in case you retire early, which we all want to do, right? If you multiply that by 40 years, that's over $2 million more you would have earned. You imagine what you could have done with that $2 million more, the house that you wanted, the lifestyle that you may have wanted, not just you, but your family, your kids, their kids. Generations can benefit from the blessing that you have instilled into them by investing in yourself as well. Now, please note, this is not a forcing you, please. This is not a, I'm not here trying to push any thing. I'm just trying to show you that studying, whether you study at CTS or any other school, you need to invest in yourself. And investing in yourself, one way of doing it is qualification. And there are many different ways you can invest in yourself as well. All right. So you can earn over $2 million more. But we all know as well that if you have a bachelor's degree, the rate at which your salary increases, the job opportunities available for you are far greater with a bachelor's degree than with CXC. So the likelihood is that this will be much more. The difference will actually be about $4 to $6 million more possibly because of the increase in earning over time as well. Okay. Now, why study with the University of Bedfordshire? The truth is, many people don't know about the University of Bedfordshire, and primarily because if you follow the English Premiership League, you would know that there's no football team called Bedford, right? At least in the Premier League. So just a bit about the University of Bedfordshire, right? They have a heritage that dates back to more than 100 years. They have over 20,000 students from over 120 different countries enrolled in their programs. They have 5 campuses alone in the UK. And Luton is their main campus. Bedford, Potteridge, Alsberg, and Milton Keynes are the different campuses. But the thing is, campuses are physical building. We recognize now that that's changing. And therefore, the way education will be accessed in the future is not likely through physical buildings, but through online options. So they have partners, apart from these physical location here, they have partners in China, in Middle East, Europe, Southeast Asia. And in 2017, they started their partnership in Trinidad and Tobago, right? They have an internationally renowned league table where they're in the top 6 universities in the world, right? As well as they won the Queen's University Prize in 2013, and that's one of the highest form of national recognition in the UK. So that's a bit about the University of Bedfordshire as well. They ranked in many different areas as well, but to be quite honest, between me and you, ranking is not the only thing you're going to look at, right? Ranking is for those who are particularly interested in those things, but when you look at the program, there are many factors to consider, and I want to discuss some of those with you as well. So what about CTS College? Why study at CTS College? Well, who is CTS College in the first instance? CTS College is a private education provider. We've been in the education business for over 20 years. We offer programs from CXC. In fact, we offer SEA classes now from primary to secondary to tertiary, all the way to a master's qualification, because we offer an MBA as well with the University of Bedfordshire also. Apart from that, we offer a range of professional certification courses or professional development courses to complement your academic qualifications as well. And we are ACTT recognized, and we are registered with the Ministry of Education also. Okay, so just to note a few of these things. This one now is really our bragging page, if you want to call it that, right? We've won over 96 AB World Prizes since 2007. In fact, some good news as well. In the last 5 years, CTS College has been the most dominant school in Trinidad, with AB winning more AB World Prizes than any other school. When we started offering the AB program, guys, we just had like about 5 or 6 students. But really, when you look at the growth and development of CTS College, it's a testimony of God's work in the school. Honestly, we have been truly blessed, and I'm so thankful to God for what He has done for us as well. Not through our own works, but really through His blessing, we've been able to accomplish so much. And so we've won the most AB World Prizes since 2007, 96 World Prizes. Now, a World Prize is given to the student with the top mark in a subject in the world. At the recent examination in AB, CTS College won 5 World Prizes. That meant 5 of our students had the highest mark in the world. That was the highest number by any school in the Caribbean as well. I'm not sure worldwide because they didn't provide the global figure. So once the global figure is out, but we also hold the record for the most AB World Prizes in any one session. We had 13 World Prize winners in one session. And that was a record. The previous record was about 7, and we had 13 or so in one session. So it really was a remarkable achievement for us. Apart from that, we've won awards with the University of Bedfordshire. We've won over 47 university awards with them. And we've also won ABME Academic Achievement Awards. But another thing that might be important to you is the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. They started awarding schools. They had something called the Quiet Awards. The Quiet Award is what we call the Quality in Tertiary Education Awards. And it's open to all schools in the country, right? And we were awarded prizes in their 3 categories, and we were awarded 6 prizes over 6 different years for student support services. We awarded 3 prizes for excellence in established quality management system and 2 for excellence in teaching and learning. We've won more Quiet Awards than any other school in the country, and that includes big schools such as UoB, UTT, USC, Costa, etc. And to win those more ACTT awards and to be recognized by ACTT for our student support services is really a humbling achievement and something that we're really proud about. Please note though that the ACTT Quiet Award, because of budgetary constraints, has been stopped for the past 3 years or so, right? So we haven't been able to win more awards only because the Quiet Awards has stopped, right? In terms of experience with delivering the bachelor's in IT, we have over 14 years of experience delivering a BSc IT program. We've been working with the University of Hertfordshire actually since 2006. So previously, we delivered a BSc IT with the University of Hertfordshire. And it was just simply the final year we were delivering. And later on, we started looking at delivering all 3 levels, year 1, year 2, year 3. But the reason we didn't stick with Hertfordshire for it, and nothing to do with any relationship issues, it was purely because I wanted an affordable price. Because early on, one student had indicated that they were looking at pricing as well because it matters. And we have one of the more affordable pricing structure. And when with the University of Hertfordshire, the price that they were offering us for the program for each of the 3 years, it would have made us one of the highest price point in the market. And even though we tried negotiating, we couldn't come to a price that I felt would have been attractive in the local market in Trinidad. So I had to find alternative. And that was the only reason for switching from Hertfordshire to Bedfordshire. And so we started working at Bedfordshire in February of this year. So our first group started in February, and already we have students who've completed the program, because you could start at any of the levels. And we've had students who started at the final year and already finished their program in 8 months. So we'll talk more about that shortly. Our average pass rate is over 85% in the program. We've had over 2,000 applicants, over 17,000 students graduating, with over 483 with first class. In fact, that number should go closer to 500 based on the last group that would have finished, right? And our graduates are employed in various sectors and in various industries at different levels as well. So it's wonderful to see our students working as well. Now, I don't want to mislead you as well. Truthfully, there are students who are qualified, but not everyone gets the job that they want. I have students who are qualified in IT, but prefer not to work in IT and continue with their existing job, simply using the IT degree as a method of getting a promotion or salary increase, as the case may be, right? Because some companies, what they do, they give you a salary increase. If you increase your qualification, you gain a higher qualification. So it's not a promotion, it's simply a salary increase. And for others, it's about getting a promotion because of the qualification, okay? So in terms of features of the program, now, just before I get into the features, what we have done, we constantly, if you notice, I've been constantly asking questions, right? The reason why we're asking questions is because we are trying to deliver a program that meets the needs of the student. So what we were looking at, when I was looking at switching from Hertfordshire to a new program, I looked at all the different things I would have, through my many conversations with students over the years, and finding out what do students want. Now, compared to 2006, what students wanted versus now, it has changed a bit. And therefore, from some of the things students want a program that was globally accessible, meaning that anywhere in the world I could access this program. I'm traveling, my employer is sending me to work here or there, etc. I want to be able to access this. This program is globally accessible. And the fact that classes are online, it makes it even more accessible as well, okay? So there are positives through the pandemic, and it has forced institutions to move online, and it has given students now the opportunity. So whether you're in Tobago, whether you're in Trinidad, whether you're from deep south in Trinidad, etc., you no longer have to be concerned about, traveling to Chaguanas, etc., and the time and cost and all of those. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're traveling because your work is sending you to work in another location, another country as well, this is totally acceptable as well, because I do have a student who had to move because of work, and the fact that the program has switched online was a big blessing for him as well, okay? Now, the program is practical, it's work applied, because what employers want, yes, they want qualified people, but they want people who have skills. When you come into the workplace, you are bringing skill set with you. And what the program has done, it's a practical program. Throughout this, you are writing programs to solve problems. You are even designing solutions to actual real life problems. And because you are constantly coming up with real life solutions, it's considered a practical problem, a practical program. Okay, so yes, you are required to know theory, but more importantly as well, you also need to know how to apply those theories as well. Okay. And has CTS College obtained the CSEC certification from CXC? I'm not sure. We offer CXC pass, CXC qualification, and the students do the CXC exams, right? So if that's what you're asking, yes, we offer CXC, and the students do write the CXC exams. In fact, I'm just basing it on a question in the chat, but I'm not sure if I'm interpreting correctly. Is there a CSEC certification that you're talking about, or if we offer CXC? We do offer the CXC program, yes. Right. So back to this here, in terms of work applied, it's a practical program. The other thing we found students want is that many students have already qualified, but sorry, they already have the work experience, but they lack the like a degree to support their work experience. So they simply need to get a degree as quickly as possible. So what we did as well, when we were looking for programs, we looked for a program that was accelerated, that you could complete in the shortest possible time. Now, if you do a little bit of survey within the market, you'll see that there are some programs, and this is not to bash anyone. Before I make my statement, I want to fully endorse any of the IT programs in Trinidad. I believe that, look, every one of them, you can gain employability with each one. The reality is that employability is also dependent on opportunities, as well as how well you market yourself through your resume and other factors also. But at the same time, whether you study at COSTAT, UTT, UoB, etc., at the end, you're achieving a bachelor's degree in IT. You should be able to get work as well after, once the other factors are available also, right? So this is not to bash anyone. When you have to choose, you choose the factors. You choose a school based on the factors that are most important to you. So at the end of it, the factors of this program, or the features of this program, may not necessarily be best suited for you. And you may say, look, I prefer this other option because it works out better for me because of X, Y, Z. And I totally get that, and I appreciate that. What I was looking at, I looked at features that most students would have indicated to us were reasons for choosing us, or what they would have liked in the program that it didn't have. And that is what helped me and create my wish list when I started looking for a new BSc IT program to deliver. So I needed something that was accelerated. And now we have the shortest IT degree in the country. You could complete this degree in 2 years, starting from level 4, which is the first year. I'll talk to you more about how we can do that without diluting the program, without watering it down in any way at all. All right, so we'll discuss that more. Also, the program needs to be affordable because it's a very price sensitive market we're working in, and we'll talk more about costing later on. And then apart from that, they wanted a program that was fully accredited, because a lot of our students, we are getting lots and lots of students who are migrating to Canada and the US, more so Canada, because of the migration rules that Canada has now that accepts professionals as well. So a lot of students are migrating to Canada or have already migrated. So they wanted a qualification that they can take with them, right? That's easily transportable to a new country that would work. And therefore they wanted something fully accredited. And that's what this program does as well. Okay. So those are some of the things we are going to look at. Okay. So based on this here, right? Let's start with fully accredited. In the UK, you just cannot create a university just like that. The Quality Assurance Agency is the one that is responsible. It's an independent body that basically advises government for applications to award degree conferring power. So the university has been granted that by QA, but one of the things they have to do is they have to go through regular QAA approvals as well. So they are QA approved as well, right? And note, approval is not a one-time thing, because remember, things change, and therefore you have to frequently, like every 5 years or so, they have to go through that process of QA approval also, right? Apart from that, in Trinidad and Tobago, this is a name you should recognize. It's ACTT, right? ACTT is the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, and they are the ones basically who in Trinidad will be able to tell you, yes, this program is recognized, etc. And this program is recognized with the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago. So it's fully accredited. Ideally, you should be able to go to most countries, I believe any country, and work. It's the same as if you studied in the UK and you're moving to another country, okay? You have a qualification that is readily available and recognizable as well. The other thing we're going to look at as part of the quality process is the transnational quality. As you realize, the University of Bedfordshire is not in Trinidad, it's in a different country. Therefore, the arrangement to deliver a program in another location in another country is what we call a transnational qualification, because it's from another country. So based on that now, does it mean we get to do what we want because we are offering it? And the answer is no. Well, we do to some extent, but it must be approved by the university. So all our marketing and promotions must be approved by the university. All our admissions are approved by the university. So when you apply, CTS College is not the one who accepts you. The university is the one who does the acceptance. We would advise you, we would submit your application and do all this stuff and inform you as well of the outcomes, but the university is the one who approves all our admissions. All our lecturers, faculty is the same as the lecturer. Our lecturers are approved by the university as well. We'll talk more about lecturer approval because all our lecturers need to be qualified, all right, and also have industry experience. Apart from that, the teaching materials are provided by the university. We are allowed to customize the material as well. All your assessments are set and marked by the university as well. And they conduct annual audits to ensure CTS does what it's supposed to do as well. Okay, so we do annual audits to ensure we maintain that relationship and to ensure that we stay on their good sides by doing things the right way. Apart from that as well, there's continuous feedback and review as well. The university, even you as students, would be providing review and feedback as well to the university. So it's part of the quality process that is engendered in the program. The other thing about it is that we said students want a program that's globally accessible and they can access online from anywhere. And as I said, that there are students from over 120 different countries doing this program. And it's not because they are all studying on campus in the UK, right? But they are studying at different locations and some of them are online as well. Okay. Now, the online environment, the university has an online learning environment. It's called BRIO, right? That's the Bedfordshire Resources for Students, right? The Bedfordshire Resource or BRIO is an environment that once you enroll, etc., you'll be given a login credentials to log in, and you can access all your lecture notes, etc., from there. Now, please note, those are all your assignments are submitted on BRIO as well. CTS College has separately set up a separate environment where you can also get our lecture notes, the recording of our lectures, etc. All of those will be in an environment separately that we've created. So you have two environments, the university's environment and CTS environment, where you get access to all the materials, okay? The university also has a student information desk that's available 24/7 to support students anywhere in the world. Another thing we talked about was that the program must be practical because you want to be able to solve real life challenges. You want a program that's hands-on. You don't want to come out with a series of just a set of knowledge about theories, but don't know how to apply them. And one of the good things about this program is that it's practical. You are solving real life problems in the program. The other thing that we said is that students want a program that was accelerated. You want a program that could be done in the shortest possible time. Now, how is this done? Now, first of all, before I allude to this, I want to share with you what happens on campus in the UK. It's the same degree that is delivered on campus in the UK we are delivering here. In the UK, they deliver it over a 3-year period. In Trinidad, we deliver it over 2 years. How are we able to do that? Well, this is how it works. In the UK, an academic year is made up of 3 semesters. So you have an intake in September, October, another one in February, and another one in June. But in the UK, they only accept students in the September or the October and the February intake. In June, there's a gap. And that during that 4-month period, that's called the summer period or the summer break, students are on a break. There's no studying. Part of the reason is because a lot of their students are international students. So during that period, students return home to their families, etc. Right? So given that's the case, you do your courses in 8 months and you have a 4-month break. What I indicated to the university when we were negotiating was that, look, in Trinidad, most students actually study from home. A lot of students, when they start this program, they would not be staying and moving to Chaguanas to do the program. They will be traveling or commuting from home. And therefore, the intent is that there's not a need for that 4-month break to return to families and all of those things. So given that's the case, we ask if after the 8 months when you finish one level, can we allow the student to progress on to the next level? And the university agreed to it. What it meant now is that what we did is we simply took out the 4-month break in year 1, took out the 4-month break in year 2, and took out the 4-month break in year 3. So when you add up those 4 months, 4 months, 4 months, that's a year we took off from the program, and therefore we reduce it from 3 years to 2 years. It meant now that each level is done in 8 months. So your first year is done in 8 months, your year 2 is done in 8 months, and your year 3 is done in 8 months. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. 24 months is 2 years. So that is how we were able to complete the program in 2 years. Did we reduce the semester? No, we did not. The semester is still 4 months in duration. The assignments, everything mimic exactly what is done on campus. In the UK, the only difference is that you don't have that 4-month break. Of course, if you want to go on a break, you can. So after completing level 4, you may say, I want to take a break before I start level 5. That's totally up to you. So you could add a break if you wish to as well. But ideally, most students want to complete this program as quickly as possible, and you can do it in 2 years. Okay. Next, the program is made as well such that if you don't qualify for year 1, there's the bridging program. And the bridging program now, anyone can start the bridging program, and it takes 4 months or 1 semester to complete the bridging program. So if you did the bridging program, it will be 2 years and 4 months. But most students usually qualify for year 1, and we'll talk about the entry requirements later on as well. Okay. So each level consists of 4 units. So you'll be doing 2 units per semester. So note, you have 4 units or 4 subjects in year 1, 4 subjects in year 2, and 4 subjects in year 3. Now, just a bit to note about the subject. Each subject, however, is made up of multiple things. So like you might do 1 subject, and that subject might include databases as well as networking. So you are basically studying like 2 courses in 1. So they've reduced the number of units, but the content is still very expansive, where you're covering like two whole subjects in 1 unit. And therefore, when you look at it, don't look at the, well, 4 subjects, how much will I cover? Each subject actually covers multiple areas as well. So you would have gained a broad qualification. All right. Next. So based on these, you can complete your program in 2 years, starting at level 4. The program is an affordable investment, and we'll talk specifically about pricing closer to the end of the session. However, I want you to note as well, we offer payment plans to make sure the program is financially viable. So payment plans are available as well, and we also linked with a partner, GMMB. So we work with GMMB as well to assist students obtaining loans to cover the cost of the program. So if you're interested in getting a loan to do the program, then you can work with GMMB to get the loan as well. Now, how is the program structured? So let's look at the structure of the program so you'll see how it can fit into your busy lifestyle. The program is made up of 3 levels. I haven't included the bridging level here, right? Ideally, what the university sees, because remember, the program releases year 1, year 2, year 3. So year 1 is level 4, which is made up of 4 units. So we call it year 1, we call it year 4. But please note, year 1 or level 4 runs only for 8 months, right? So although we call it year 1, it's not a full year or 12 months. It's done in 8 months, and I explained why early on. Year 2 also done in 8 months. It's also called level 5. And year 3 is called level 6. It's the final year of the degree. At the end of level 6, you get a bachelor's degree. Now, why did I use level 4, level 5, level 6? In the UK, what they've done, using the regulations in the UK, what they have done, Ofqual is a qualification body in the UK. It's like ACTT in Trinidad. So what they did was they set a standard for qualification. So they created like a ladder, and therefore every qualification has a particular level. So the year 1 of a degree is equivalent to level 4. Year 2 of a degree is level 5, or if a diploma or higher diploma is level 5. A bachelor's degree is level 6, a master's degree is level 7, a doctorate is level 8, you know, like those. So they created like a ladder for each qualification. So hence the reason we use the term level 4, level 5, level 6 to represent year 1, year 2, year 3, because one of the reasons is you may have already done a level 5 qualification elsewhere. And if you did an IT level 5 qualification, you could go straight into level 6 of this program. So one of the other things that we looked at is the fact that you have multiple entry points. You could start the program at any of the different levels, right? So you have multiple levels, and you could start at any of the different levels, but you need to qualify for the level. So let's start with level 4. Level 4 if you did A levels, you will be able to start level 4. But what if you didn't do A levels? Well, if you have IT work experience, you could start at level 4 as well, right? If you have just general work experience, so you never did IT or anything, you can start at level 4. A lot of students seem to think that, look, I have work experience, it's not in IT, then I should start at bridging. And the answer is no. If you have work experience, you can start at level 4. Whether it's IT or not IT, you can start at level 4. Okay. In fact, most students start at level 4. Now, who should, well, we'll talk about who should start at the bridging level. So once you have any of these here, you can typically start at level 4. There are some exceptions university make and allow other persons to start at level 4 as well. To start at level 5, you could either complete level 4 to move to level 5, or if you have a level 4 IT diploma from another institution, then you can start at level 5. Of course, the university has to approve all of these, right? Or if you have two or more years of IT work experience and you also have IT certifications, those can help you to get into level 5. If you have an associate degree or a higher national diploma or a level 5 IT diploma, you could get into level 6, which is the final year. Or if you have a lot of IT work experience and you have IT certs, you could potentially start at the final year as well. So each of these though pending university approval, right? So these are the different entry requirements for the different levels. Okay. Any questions regarding these entry requirements that you may want to ask while we're on the entry requirements part of it? All right. You go ahead.
Right, sorry. So if someone has no O levels, but they have something like 6 years work experience.
That's fine.
What
you
level?
Start at level 4, right?
At level 4. Okay.
Yeah, O levels is not mandatory. CSEC is not mandatory, right? Work experience is fine to start, and it doesn't have to be IT. It can be any work experience. It's fine to start at level 4, right?
Okay.
If you have the AB, BIS information, BIS certificate, right, and you did 2 at the diploma level, would you be exempted from the first year? And it's possible you may be exempted from level 4 with those qualifications. So I'm basing it on Cindy's question. Again, you'll have to provide evidence of these and the university will give it consideration, right? And in the application form, you'll have to include that is looking at starting at level 5. It will be given consideration as well, okay? So apart from these, who therefore should start at the bridging level? So anyone who doesn't qualify here could start at the bridging level. What the bridging level ideally is, and the typical person who starts at the bridging level would be persons who just came straight out of CSEC. If you just finished CSEC, the bridging level is typically where you start. But if you did CSEC and you have work experience, you could start at level 4. At the same time, I have seen cases where a student has done well at CSEC and the university accept them at the bridging level, into level 4. So there have been exceptions, but I don't want to include it in here because it's not mandatory. The university will assess based on your CSEC results. They may allow you entry straight into level 4 as well. And we've had quite a few students with just CSEC passes who started directly at level 4. Okay, so you may start at level 4 with CSEC only, but the university would be the one to determine that. If you've done well in CSEC, the university generally will allow you to start at level 4 rather than the bridging. Okay, so any other questions regarding those? So in terms of the bridging, it's really for students who either don't have any academic qualification or work experience. You have no work experience, no academics, you're a mature person, you could start at the bridging level. Or you just did CSEC, right? Start at the bridging level. But if you have really good grades at CSEC, I would encourage you to consider level 4, which is year 1 of the program. Okay, what will I learn in the program? As I said before, the program is practical. You'll be solving a lot of problems as well. What year 1 focuses on? Year 1 focuses on introductory skills. So it's ideally for anyone starting the program. So in year 1, you would learn about introduction to software. You will explore hardware as well. You will look at how computers are built, how it works. You'll look at databases. You will have access to Cisco Academy where you learn networking as well. And you will, so one of the courses is made up of 2 subjects, databases and networking. And the networking exam is a Cisco exam that you'll be writing as well. And you'll have access to Cisco Academy for it also. You'll learn SQL, you learn about programming using Java and Python and Microsoft Access as well. So you'll be building databases and Access. You learn Java as well as Python programming. You may learn, you could even use Oracle as well for one of the subjects to build your database. So this is a bit of what you'll cover. It's a very good, in terms of year one, it's a really good skills that you're learning and tools that can help you as well as you move through the program. Year two will focus more on software, how software is designed and developed. You look at human-computer interaction and design a lot more as well. And you'll do a bit more programming also. And in the final year, you'll focus more on project management. You'll also focus a lot more on user experience side, and where you design an application, the interface and application. And your final year project, you'll have to build an actual application as well to solve a real life problem. So that's another solution for year 6 or final year that you'll be working on. So a lot of these are practical skills you'll be learning. These are the courses in each level. So the bridging program, there's one module, right? Computer systems development and data transmission. What this unit involves is a lot of databases. You'll have to do normalization. You'll have to build and they'll give you a case study for an organization, and you'll have to build an application to solve the problem, right? So you'll have to create a database and develop screens as well to allow for data entry, etc. So it's a mini application you're developing. You learn about normalization, ER diagrams, etc. in your first year in bridging program. In year one, you would be introduced to software development, computer studies, principles, programming, computer system structure. Year two, human-computer interactions, IT industries project, web technologies and systems development. In web technologies, you'll be building an e-commerce application there. And in the final year, you learn more about advanced IT as well as research methods and emerging on new technologies, social and professional project management, and you have your undergraduate project. So there are four subjects or 4 units in each level, and each unit, as I said, can be made up of multiple things. Each word 30 credits, so 120 credits for year 1, 120 for year 2, 120 for year 3. That's 360 credits at the end of the course. Now, how are classes structured so that you can fit this into your busy lifestyle? We found that, look, students don't have a lot of time for classes, so therefore they want the minimum number of classes required, but enough teaching to ensure that they are well supported through the program. They want a lot of support outside of class as well. So based on that, in terms of the intake, there are 3 intakes in the year. If you miss an intake, the other intake is simply 4 months away. So our next intake is February. Now, although they call it the February intake, classes are actually starting in January, right? On the 23rd of January, semester starts. There's an intake in June and one in October. Even the October intake started actually at the end of September. So 4 intakes. But in terms of timetabling now, each subject, you're doing 2 subjects at a time. So you're only doing 2 subjects at a time. Each subject has a 2-hour class per week. Classes are typically on Saturdays, right? So most classes are on Saturdays. They're done online. All the classes are recorded. That's available as well. You can review the recordings as often as you want. The semester is a 15-week semester, and units usually assessed via 2 to 3 assessments, all right, typically. So each unit will have normally 2 assessments, some cases 3, and between semester, there's a 2-week break. Let's take a look at a sample timetable. So if you're in the bridging program, you may have a class on a Saturday from 8 to 10. If you're in level 4, you'll have 2 classes, one from 8 to 10 and one from 10:30 to 12:30, right? Just 4 hours of class time. Level 5, 4 hours of class time, 10:15 to 2:45. Level 6, you have, now you're seeing 3 subjects here, but really 2 subjects you're doing. You're only doing 2 at a time. Okay, so you're doing advanced, you might start with advanced information technology and research methodology. So you're doing those 2 units. For students who are in their 2nd semester, they'll be doing advanced information technology and the project. The undergraduate project is always done last. The undergraduate project is always done in your last semester, okay? So this is your typical timetable. So you notice that 2 hours of class per subject, typically on a Saturday. Now, please note, when you have an assignment, if you have an assignment due, often students need additional help, additional support. We may at that time card additional classes, additional sessions to support you in undertaking those assessments. And in so doing, those sessions may be on an evening or night more so to help you. It's online via Zoom, etc. So you should be able to access those from any device. So those classes usually are not carded like here, any timetable, but they support you. If you have an assignment coming up, you need additional help, we will have those additional classes to support you in undertaking your assessments. All right. Now, how exactly will you be assessed in this program? Would you have a test at the end and that determines everything? The answer is no. The university uses a myriad of assessment methods throughout the course. You may have coursework or assignments. So you're given an assignment 5 weeks ahead. You have 5 weeks to complete it, as the case may be, or 7 weeks in some cases to complete the assignment. You know exactly what you have to do, the question that you have to answer, and you have a lot of time to work on it, to look at different models, etc., before you get the final answer. Some assignments may be group work related, some may be individual projects. Now, one of the advantages of group work is that you get to solve a bigger problem by being part of a team. The reason for the university offering group work is because they try to mimic real life and work situation. Often you may be part of a team working on a project, so therefore you need to be able to interact and work in a group, right? But the bulk of the assignments are individual projects. You have to develop portfolios as well. So for the portfolios, a portfolio means that you have to do several smaller work that is grouped together to submit at the end. You may have essays, presentations, as well as, so you may have an essay to do in some cases, right? Not often the essay is like a paper that you may have to produce. So one of the paper is based on employability skills, right? So a part of the course is based on employability, and you may have to, like, they will tell you that you'll have to write or like create a CV. You have to choose a job, create a CV to target the job, etc. So you may have stuff like that. You also have to do presentation. Now, what I love about presentation, a lot of students are often shy and they don't like to talk. But when you go to an interview, you better know how to market yourself. And I have found that these presentations are developing students' skills in terms of presenting themselves, projecting their voice, the ability to do public speaking, etc. Because you're forced now in a situation where you have to present your solution. You have to justify why you did this. So you have to defend the work that you did by justifying the choices you've made, etc. So that's part of the whole process of being assessed. And sometimes you may have an exam as well. But know that one module may have multiple different ways of being assessed. Okay, so this is how it works. In terms of the assessment focus, right, we talked a bit about what the classes focus on, and the assessment typically focus on those as well. Okay, so what about passing and progressing? Well, in order to pass a unit, you must score a total mark of 40 or more. So the pass mark at the degree level is typically 40 marks. So once you have gotten 40 marks in total, you will pass. What if your mark is less than 40? If your mark is less than 40, the university typically gives you what you call a referral. So if you fail, meaning you got a mark less than 40, so once you get 40 or more in total, the sum of your marks is 40 or more, you pass the module. However, if you fail the module, before you have to repeat the module, the university gives you what you call a second chance through a referral. What a referral is simply, and they'll give you an assignment to do. And if you pass that assignment, you pass the unit. Okay, so you may be given a referral, and if you pass it, you pass the unit. You don't need to pay for the referral, and the referral is a good way of having to, like, it gives you a second chance of passing the module without having to pay to repeat the module. Now, if you fail the referral, right, meaning you don't submit it, etc., or you failed it again, then you have to pay to retake the unit. Okay, so only if you fail the unit the first time and fail the referral, then you have to pay to repeat the module. Okay, so that's what happens if you fail. Now, what if I've passed now and I'm ready to graduate? What are some of the qualifications and the different classifications available? You could graduate with first class honors, upper second class, lower second class, or third class honors, right? Now, how is your degree calculated? If you started at year 2 or year 1, then know the following. For students who are moving through the program from a lower level, year 1 grades does not count towards your final grade. You must pass year 1, but it doesn't count towards your final grade, whether you get first class, upper second. Your year 2 grades, however, counts. So what they do, they take your best 90 credits from year 2, then they take your best 90 credits. Now remember, each subject is 30 credits. So saying 90 credits is the same as saying the best 3 marks out of the 4. So they take your best 3 marks out of 4 in year 2, and they do the same in year 3, but in year 3, your project is mandatory. So they take the project and your other 2 best marks. Okay, so if the project was your lowest mark, they will take the project and the other 2, your 2 other highest mark. Okay, now for those students, your grades in year 3 are weighed twice as more than they were in year 2. So what they will do, they will use a weighing factor of 2 times for your year 3 grades and 1 time for your year 2 grades. Okay, now of course they round up. So if you got, let's say, 69.5 or higher, they will round it up to 70. All right, so it always rounded up to the next level. Of course, if you got 69.4, it goes down to 69, right? Now, what if you started directly in the final year? If you started directly in the final year, then your award is based on your best 90 credits in the final year. Again, the project is mandatory. So they must include the project in that 90 credits, okay? Next, we're going to look at the kind of support that is available in the program. So what kind of support would you get from the program? Well, the support is available in multiple ways, right? Oh, Jillian, if you like, go ahead, you could ask the question. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay. What I wanted to find out, you said that if you fail, you get a referral. What I wanted to know is, like, if you get a referral, are you just capped at 40?
Yes, because the reason why you capped at 40, if someone passed the unit the first time and they got 40 marks and you failed, you should not be allowed to get a referral and get more than them, because otherwise students who believe that they're not doing well will fail to get a referral to get a higher mark, right?
Okay.
So if you get a referral, your mark will be capped at 40 because it's like an honorary pass because you really did fail the first time, right?
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. So in terms of the support that is available is as follows. There's support both from CTS and from the university. Support is available through the BRIO website, but support is also available through the college as well. So for example, these are some of the things you'll have access to. So you'll have access to online journals through Emerald. You'll have access to Emerald Journal. Apart from that, you'll have access to BRIO, where you'll get your study materials, your grades and all of that, your feedback, assignment submission, all of that is done through BRIO. Now, I indicated that you have a program manager also. So your program manager and your lecturers will provide additional support. Like before we get started with classes, we'll have an induction program. The induction program will go through in terms of the program handbook with the university, because you're now a student of both the university and CTS. So we'll go through a bit of rules, regulation, things you need to know, etc. We'll also talk about academic writing. So part of the induction will include academic writing and Harvard referencing as well. You'll also have access to course. The program manager and myself will act as you support persons as well through course information, etc. We also have support like tutorials for assignments. So if you need help with assignments, we also provide tutorial support to help you with the assignment. If you need administrative support like letters and stuff like that, the program manager and our administrative staff are available to help you with all of those. All you need to do is just send an email or WhatsApp to the program manager, and we'll be able to effect more or less your request also. So support is available in many different areas, not just academically, but administratively, and even through general advice as well. There are times you might feel, hey, I just need someone to talk to because I feel a bit overwhelmed, right? And we are here for you guys as well. So many times we've had that. We also have an independent counseling service available if you believe that you need a bit of counseling, right? So we have someone independent who will be available to assist you with counseling at no cost to you. It's a cost to us. So you have access to those as well if you believe that, you know, the pressure is a bit much and you don't need two tutorial support, but you need someone to talk to because of anxiety and other issues as well. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, we also conduct induction. So in the induction, we'll introduce you to the program in detail. We'll also go through referencing guideline and academic writing as well, which is crucial for students to do well in the program. In terms of our lectures, I mentioned that our lecturers also are well qualified. They have master's qualification minimum, but apart from that, we try to get lecturers who have industry experience as well. You also have the student voice, but to be quite honest, the student voice has not been very active lately because of the whole COVID situation, and with staff working remotely, it has been a bit difficult to have the student voice part. But to share with you at CTS College, you have direct access to program manager, you have a direct access to me. If there are any issues that are impacting any program, please bring it to our attention so that we can help, we can assist. If there are ways we can improve, we want to know. So help share the information with us so that we can improve what we're doing as well. In terms of resources as well, what resource would you need? Because the program is being delivered more online now, you should have access to a laptop. And apart from that, you should have access to Wi-Fi capabilities as well. Laptop and Wi-Fi capabilities are crucial to help you through the program because you will need to develop programs. A phone may be good enough to attend classes, but a phone may not be suitable enough to do your assignments. Although I do know students in our business program who use a phone to do all our assignments, but it is a bit of a task because typing up an assignment on a phone using the phone keypad is not the simplest of things, right? Where would you graduate? You can graduate both at the university in the UK as well as in Trinidad. So you get two for one. So you could graduate in the UK as well as in Trinidad. Now, we were fortunate earlier this week on Tuesday, I attended my first virtual graduation with the university as well. It's not the same as a face-to-face graduation for sure. It's definitely a lot shorter. It's a whole lot cheaper too, but it's not the same feel and stuff like that though, right? But you can graduate at the university once, you know, instructions are given to allow face-to-face graduation, and our graduation is typically held at Hyatt as well. So now we didn't have a graduation in 2020, but what we're doing is we are working now to develop like portraits. Students will get their portraits done and they will have the graduation next year when things resume back to normal, if it ever does, or at the point where we could actually host a graduation. Now, in terms of qualifying, we already spoke about the entry requirements, right? So I'm not going to dwell more on the entry requirements because we already spoke about these things here. So I'm going to skip past the entry requirements because we would have discussed these earlier on. So what should you submit when you're applying? So if you are applying, how do you apply then for this program? One, you need to complete the application form. We will email you the application form, right? At the end of the session, you'll get an email with the link to the recording as well as the slides also, right? Apart from that, now it'll take a little while for the video to be uploaded, etc., to convert and to upload to YouTube, and I'll share it from YouTube as well. You're also required to complete the application form, submit your CV and ID. So submit your resume and ID for us as well. And of course, if you have any qualifications, please submit those qualifications regardless of which level you're starting. If you have any IT programs you've done, even if you were incomplete, even if you did an incomplete IT program, don't be shy about it or feel bashful or shame about it. Send it to us as well, because those could be helpful in getting you enrolled at a higher level depending, right? If you do have it, you could include a job letter. We're not interested in salary. If you have IT work experience and you want to include those, you may include a letter from your employer if it's available as well. But your resume will have those, but we still ask you for the job letter if it's possible to get those, right? Submit any certificates that you have where possible, right? Unofficial certificates are accepted as well in the interim. Okay, so submit all the documents you can to us so that we could review and determine where's the best starting point for you as well. Okay, so once you submit those documents to us, then what we do now, we will take those documents, we will review it, we will ensure that it's complete and submit to the university. One thing to note, in your application form, I would prefer if you fill the application form in soft copy first, please, right? You could take a picture of your signature and you could paste it in the application form. If you don't know how to do it, if you want, you could send us a copy of your signature. You could take a picture with your phone and send it to us as well, so that we could insert the picture on the signature page on your application form. So the application form needs to be signed. Okay. Just a reminder, guys, to ensure that you give your name and your contact number and email address to Stefan, please, because remember, we want to email the information to you. So please ensure that you you give him that information. Okay. So once we've gotten this stuff from you, we will review. Then once it's complete, we send it off to the university. We send you an email advising you that your application has been submitted. So Stefan is responsible for collating your application, sending you an email that your application is submitted. If you didn't get an email like that and you did send your application, write him to ensure that it was submitted. And because every application, you should get an email from us confirming that, look, your application has been submitted, and we will include these steps here, and we will advise you that you're in step 2 now. So your application is complete, has been submitted, and we are waiting the university to process. Please note that sometimes take two weeks to process. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it takes a couple of days. There are no fixed time for submission, for getting it approved. Okay. Now, because of the bridging program, no one ever gets rejected from the program, because you could start at some level. There's always a level you could start at, right? So you don't have to worry about being rejected. The only thing is they may not accept you to start at the level you want, but maybe a lower level. That's the only difference, right? Okay. And the college would, once the university accepts you, they would then inform us. They will give us an offer letter to submit to you. So what you need to do now, the university reviews and provide an offer letter. It's a 2-page offer letter. We will then email you that offer letter along with a registration form from the university. Yes, what you need to do now, you need to sign the offer letter accepting that you'll start, and you need to check the tick box that you accept the offer. You also need to complete the registration form. If you're starting at level 5 or level 6, you also have an exemption form you need to fill out as well, which we will guide you with. Once you submit those to us now, we will then submit those to the university, and you are now a student of the university. And of course, we'll advise you when classes are starting, etc. The semester is starting on the 23rd of January, just a note as well, right? So we will submit your stuff to the university. You are formally accepted now by both CTS and the university. Okay. Now,
just one question.
Go ahead, Andre.
Sorry, TNE registration. What is TNE? Sorry.
Right. Okay. The TNE registration form is the university's registration form, right? Now, I can't remember what the acronym stands for, honestly, right? But basically, it's a registration form, you know, like a registration form, you're filling your name, your phone. To be quite honest, it's a repeat of some of the same information on the application form. But what happens is that universities are required to collect information about students as well, because part of the university's role is to report to government. They need to report in terms of, for example, a person's location, locality, their previous qualification, on gender, on race, religion, all those things, because they have to provide statistics. Of course, you could choose to refuse to put information. There is an option to refuse information for some of the question as well. But the whole purpose is simply to ensure that the universities are not discriminatory in their admission process, that they're accepting persons from different background once they satisfy the requirement. And the university is required to provide those kind of figures and statistics as well to the government as well to ensure transparency. So that's why the registration form has been created. So it's a registration form called the TNE registration form that the university provides, and that you would need to complete as well to submit. So it's just really your personal information that you're filling in again, right? Some of it.
Okay, thanks.
Cool.
If I'm not mistaken, I think TNE stands for Transnational Education.
Possibly, right? So
Yes.
maybe that's what it is. Thank you so much, Jill.
Thank you,
right.
Jill.
So please note as well, once you've completed step 5 and submitted those, it means that your fees are payable, but we're not charging you right away, but we just know that you have committed now to the process, right? Etc. Now, how much will the program cost? So let's go through the pricing. So note, you'll have multiple slides on pricing. So I want you to note carefully as well. This, first of all, notice the heading here. It's the full cost per level. It's the total cost of the program. You are not paying this up front. It's simply to give you an idea what the total cost is, right? So the bridging program, if you're starting here, there's just one unit. It's $500 registration fee. Tuition fee is $2,000 for the unit and £150 for the university. So these are the fees for bridging program. Level 4, which is year 1, there are 4 units. You pay $500 per semester to register. So registration is per semester, and it's 2 semesters, right? You're paying $2,000 per subject or per unit, and there are 4 units in total. So that works out to $8,000 here. And you're paying £150 by 4 units, which is £600 for for the university. So if you add up your fees, it's £600 to the university, 8,000 TT to CTS, and 500 per semester. It's 2 semesters, so registration is $1,000. Okay, so that's for level 4. For level 5, now this is the whole level and not per semester. That's the whole level. I'll break it down per semester for you. For level 5, it's 500 per semester. It's $2,250 per subject by 4 subjects. So your total tuition works out to 9,000. You pay £150 to the university per subject by 4. So it's £600 to the university. At level 6 now, which is the final year, 500 per semester to register, 2,500 per subject by 4, which is 10,000, and £375 by 4, which is £1,500 to the university. So these are the different fees. Now, one thing to note about the university fee. The university this indicated to us that instead of invoicing, let's say there are 100 students in the program, instead of invoicing 100 students and try to follow up with 100 students who they are not meeting face-to-face or any like those, they indicated what they will do. The students pay CTS and CTS is responsible to pay the university. So what they do, at the start of the semester, they would invoice us for the program. We pay the university in full for all the students and you pay us. So you are paying us in pounds though, right? So when you pay us in pounds because I have to pay the university in pounds, right? But so you're not paying the university directly because the university is saying they don't want to have to manage 100 individual invoices and follow up with 100 students. So they invoice one customer, their customer is CTS from invoicing perspective, and you pay us in pounds and we pay the university. Now I have to pay your fees up front though, right? So please note, I have to pay your fees up front, but we do allow like payment plans and stuff, right? It's a risk for us when we offer payment plans because I'm paying these up front, but at the same time, we offer to make the program more accessible to the student. So this is the full cost per level. Let's break it down now. So there are payment plans. So you could pay per semester or you could pay monthly. If you're breaking it down into a semester fee now, right? For each semester, how many units do you have in a semester? So this is the number of units in a semester, not for the program. So per semester, there are 2 units. 500 is your registration fee, 2,000 per subjects, but you're only doing 2 subjects in a semester. So it's 4,000 for the semester for level 4. And it's £150 by 2. So it's £300. So this is what you pay in your first semester. So if you're paying per semester, you'll be paying £300 for level 4, 4,000 TT and 500 to register. Your next semester is the exact same thing. Level 5, this is what it is. And level 6, this is what it is. Now, if you say, look, I can't pay this up front, can I pay monthly? And the answer is yes, we allow monthly payments. And the thing about it is we don't charge you anything more for paying monthly or anything like that, right? So it's not like you're paying a higher fee if you pay monthly. So you simply take the tuition fee and divide it by 4. Now, what I've done, right? For the monthly, the tuition fee, I've allowed you to pay it month by month, right? So if you look at it, it's $2,000 per subject for level 4. If you divide that by 4 months, it's 500 per month per subject. So you pay 500 per month per subject, and it's paid at the beginning of each month. So if you're starting in January, you should pay it ideally before classes start, but the other months you should pay it at the beginning of each month. Okay. So if you're in level 6, the monthly fee per subject for tuition is $562.50 per month per subject, and you're doing 2 at a time. Now, please note, the university has advised us that a student cannot do less than 2 units. You cannot do more than 2, nor can you do less than 2 units. If you're in level 4, 5, or 6, you have to do the 2 subjects. If it's offered, you have to do the 2. You cannot say, well, I'll do 1 now and I'll do 1 next semester, or etc. They don't allow that, right? That's from the university, not from CTS, because I thought you would have been able to, but they indicated, no, you can't. Okay. So this is your per monthly fee that you'll be paying. Now, we do have a special offer. And the special offer is really available to students is as follows. You could get up to $1,000 off your tuition fee per level, right? $1,000 off per level. If I divide that by per subject, it's $250 off per subject or per unit. So you could get $250 off per unit, and this is available to you throughout the entire program. So if you're going from level 4 to level 6, it's $1,000 per level. So you can save up to $3,000 as well. What is the special offer? Well, the special offer is this, right? You need to sign up complete your application form and submit to us by the 30th of November. So I need to get all your documents by the 30th of November. I believe that's ample time for you to submit your documents, right? And then your tuition and university fees must be paid in full by the 10th of January, right? So you have until January to pay your tuition and university fees, and you will get $1,000 off your fees, okay? So you need to submit your forms by the 30th November. If you're going to be late, do let us know. We can allow you some leeway if there's a valid cause for lateness as well. But ideally, we are encouraged to submit on or before this date to take up the special offer, okay? And of course, you have to pay your fees by 10th of January. So you're not paying anything as yet. You're just completing and submitting your application. And you have until January for the payment of the fees once accepted, right? And you will be accepted. So when do I start classes? The semester starts on the 23rd of January, okay? All right, that brings us to the end of our session. Are there any questions that you guys may have?
Okay, go ahead, Julia.
Okay. I remembered when I did my prior program with UoB, when we were paying, they would have worked out in the office. They would have worked out how much the pounds would
In TT?
would be in TT. Are they going to do it that way again?
Unfortunately, Jillian, we no longer can do that, and here's why, right? But it's a reason. It wasn't about making it harder for the student, but when we had to pay the university, the bank was not, even though we have TT funds, the bank was not giving us the pounds at all. So we were delinquent with our payment with the university, and sorry about that. And honestly, the university wrote us about it as well. So what we had meetings with the bank to try to resolve it. It was a real nightmare for us, because remember, when we're not paying for one student, we're paying for an entire group. So we are paying like 80,000 pounds at one time. And I think you're aware there's a challenge with Forex in the country right now.
Oh, yes,
right?
Yes,
so you are trying to get like 600 pounds or 300 pounds. We are trying to get 80,000 pounds. So we weren't getting it at all. So we met with the bank, and this is what they advised us to do. They indicated to us, here's what. You cannot get 80,000 pounds, but your students can get 300 pounds from the bank. So what they advise us to do is create a pound account, a GBP account, and let the students pay us in pounds directly. So when they pay us in pounds, it goes to that GBP account. So we have actually pounds in that account. So when we need to get 80,000, it's easier for us if we had 80,000 pounds in a pound account to get it, rather than tell them, look, we have 800,000 TT, give us 80,000 pounds, which is the equivalent sort of thing, right?
Okay.
Because of the challenges we had and our own inability to pay the university because we couldn't get the pounds, we had to switch now. So we asked students to pay us in pounds so that we can get the pounds, so that we could use that pounds to pay the university, right?
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
No problem.
Thank you.
Welcome. Other questions?
Yeah. What is the wait time after you would have passed your, well, you completed your final project and so on, and graduation is completed and so on? When do you get your qualification in hand? That's question one. And two is, oh gosh, what is it I wanted to say?
Would you like me to answer question one while you think about question two?
No, I got it. Is there any intermediary qualification after you would have completed a level that you receive, or you just get one qualification at the end of everything?
Wonderful questions, Andrew. All right. So first of all, you don't get the certificate on graduation day. You get it when the certificate becomes available, which is often before graduation. Because we only hold one graduation ceremony for the year, which is in December, what we normally would do then is we normally get your certificate about 3 to 5 months after the semester has ended. So for the students, for example, who finish the program in September, right? For the students who finish the program in September, we've gotten their certificates already, and we were fortunate because they created an earlier board, exam board to allow us to get the certificates earlier in that case. But we normally tell students 3 months after completing the program to get your certificates, right? But the graduation is once a year, typically in December. The other question now is, Now, one thing to note, before you get your certificate, we have to ensure that your fees are paid in full and has been paid off before you get your certificate, right? Which is understandable.
Yeah.
The second thing is, in terms of the intermediary qualification, one of the things I was negotiating with the university is getting intermediate qualification for each level. Now, we were able to get several things approved, but we did not get that one approved as yet. So we're still on the case of trying to get it approved, but for now, only when you've completed the program, you get a qualification. So for now, there are no intermediary qualification, but it was on the wish list when we met with the university to discuss. So what they did was they gave us the different things over time. So for example, that is the only thing now that is outstanding in the wish list of things when we met with the university that we were negotiating for. We're hoping that maybe by the end of next year, they would have it approved, but I cannot guarantee that it will actually happen, but it is in the negotiation process as well. Okay? Other questions? Okay, guys. Well, if there are no further questions, what we'll do, I want to remind you all again to take part in the survey. It's a link to a form. You just simply have to indicate how you found out about CTS College on the form first, please. If you can do that, it helps us to get information to improve our advertising, targeting, and marketing strategies as well.
Ravi, just one other, sorry.
Sure.
Providing fees are paid off and so on, and we are waiting the certificate. What about access to transcripts and so on? Do we get that beforehand, or how does it work?
We can provide a completion letter once the results are available, but the transcript and certificate are done together as one. Because they are done as one, so they both come together and given to you at the same time. And that's how the university processes it. So the transcript and certificates are given at the same time, which is typically around 3 months after completion. But CTS College could provide a completion letter for you to confirm that you have completed the program.
Okay, and the certificate and transcript, they're obtained through CTS, or is it mailed to us directly?
It will be sent to CTS, and then you'll make arrangements to collect it from CTS College.
Got you. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks again, everyone, for attending today's session. Please look at the chat and complete the form for us, please. Okay? Have a wonderful day, everyone. And I'll send out the email to you later this afternoon. Now, I do have a class from 12 to 2, so I wouldn't be able to send you the email earlier. So I'll wait until the class is finished to send you an email with the link and the recording to today's session. Okay? Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Thank you too.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. God bless everyone.
God
Same
bless
to you.